So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. What I'm talking about is 22 different ways to use video. I'm gonna show you how to use video right now. I'm not gonna talk about theories, I'm not gonna talk about I'm telling you right now what you can do with video. Now, first and foremost, everybody's gonna say, well, I have one of these. And these are great. We can't live with it. Have you ever seen somebody misplace one of these? People that don't even have asthma's like, have you seen my, I don't even know where it is, right? So everybody has one of these. And this can record in HD, right? But it's all, perception is everything. If you have the opportunity to show your prospects, potential clients, right? And even customers that you have right now, what type of business you have. Do you want to say, hey, I'm Nolen Davis. I'm Dr. Davis, actually. I do surgery on Thursdays. Come by and see me and I can remove that, whatever you have, right? Would you go to that guy? Right? So, hey, I'm Nolen Davis, attorney at law, and all of your business I can take care. You wouldn't go to that guy, right? Now, if you have a strategy on how to implement these videos into your current sales and marketing and see everything that opens up now that you have a video. They say by 2017, 90% of everything that's going to be on the internet is video. By 2017, 90%. If you all been on, how many people are on Facebook on a regular basis, right? Just think of this year. When you go through your feeds, how many new videos pick up just this year in 2014? Right? It was going from the pictures to now, every time you start, something starts right on up as soon as you get there, right? That's where we're evolving to. So when you look at video, it's the easiest way to communicate. And what else evokes emotion? We can all go to the movies right now. And then while we're getting popcorn, we can be sitting around laughing and talking. We're going to see something about Billy. In 2 hours, Billy dies and everybody's crying. In 2 hours, we feel like we know everything about Billy. It's the only thing that can evoke emotion to your product, your brand, and your service. So I'm gonna give you 22 different ways to use it. Number one is your website, right? When people get to your website, 55% of the people that come to your website stay on your website more than double the time if you have a video. 55% of your people that come to your website stay on your website more than double the time if you have a video. What does that mean? That means it's engaging. That means nobody wants to read, right? Tell me about you, right? If you gave me a brochure about you and you're sitting right here and I'm just have to read the brochure, I'm like, man, Steve just talked to me, dude. He's talking to me right now. Right? So it's that type of situation. Tell me about your product or your service. Now, let's take it to the next level. Testimonial videos on your website improves your conversion rate by 31%. I'm Nolen Davis. I've always loved Nolen Davis. I don't know anybody I love more than Nolen Davis. So when I talk to you about Nolen Davis, I'm going to say great things about him because I love him, right? But when everybody else starts seeing good things, oh, Nolen changed my company. Oh, no, Nolen got these type of results. Oh, the process was great. It was easy, right? Now you're like, okay, let me go on and give Nolen a call, right? And see what those guys over there at Vids is talking about. So your website is big. Now, we already talked about YouTube, but I'm going to give you some things that you need to know. He said it first. I don't know if he said it best, but he said it first, that Google and YouTube, they're the two biggest search engines in the world. And Google owns YouTube. But did you know there was a transcribing mechanism on the back of YouTube? That means that everything that comes out of my mouth, everything that's being said, everything that's on the voiceover is going to Google. Right there, it's directed. So if I said this video is about X, Y, and Z, and the video and the content is actually A, B, and C, it's not going to work. So when you think about it, right now, here's where your strategy comes in. When you think about it, if you know what your keywords are, because you're dealing with this guy, you specifically put those keywords in that video. You specifically say that this video is all about this, put those keywords in the title, put those keywords in the description, and that transcribing unit on the back of YouTube, when you're saying those keywords on purpose, and you're not just like, hey, so if you guys just want to come by and get surgery on Thursdays, then that's great. when you're specifically saying exactly what you want to say, all of that goes to YouTube, and now all of a sudden, when people Google it, they say, oh, here's some videos. They always throw in the extra little video. Here's what we have, but here's some videos that have the same keywords. I'm just going to go ahead and drop that off. That's a great way to get right there to the top of Google, right? So that's YouTube. Then there's hosting sites. Now, what is a hosting site? It's just like YouTube, but YouTube is an animal within itself. But then you have hosting sites. You have Vimeo, you have Vidler, you have Dailymotion, you have all of these things. If you want to widen your footprint on the internet, upload that same video to all the hosting sites. Same description, same everything, same keywords. That gives you backlinks back to your website, right? And each one of you have all those people that's like, oh, I don't like YouTube. You know, those people that's just like, oh, you're on Facebook? I don't do Facebook. I do Dribbler, right? So it's that type of situation that you have all of these people that, but now you're hitting all of those people. So YouTube has hundreds of millions of people, right? If not billions, right? But then you have Vimeo that they may have 30 million people. And they I'm sorry?
Only 30.
Exactly, only 30 million people, right? Then you have Dailymotion that they might have 25 million people. You may have, but now you're putting it out there, and now you're getting traffic from those people that are dedicated to those hosting sites as well as widening your footprint on the internet. Same video, one video. I'm showing you how to use one video so many different ways that you can say, okay, and you can do it. It's not that big a deal, right? So when you look at emails, it's an email company called BombBomb. You can embed a video. Now this is an email video like this is great because now I'm talking directly to you, Steve, right? So we had a great time, this, that, and the other, great information. Hey, Steve, had a great time. Going to get that proposal out. Had a couple of questions. Hope to see you soon. That's so personable. I come up on the email and I just had a meeting with him. And here's Nolen Davidson. He's everywhere. This guy's everywhere, right? I think I love him. I just see him everywhere, right? It's that type of situation. So email. Hyatt Ives that's sitting right there in the back. That's a friend of mine. Trade shows. I don't know who went to OTC this past. Okay, if you went to OTC, you know you walked around almost every third booth had a big flat screen there, and they had some type of video going. Absolutely. 2 years ago, it wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't.
Right? 1 year ago, it wasn't like that. That's how that's what we're moving to, right? So now it's a situation that we are trained as individuals to watch TV. So I can tell you back 3-4 years ago, when you went to a trade show, let's say you had all your little stuff, your little widgets, and everything was all right, nice, had some candy, and it was delicious, Steve, it does. It looks absolutely delicious. Now, 3 doors down at that booth, it's a big flat screen TV. I come and I'm like, oh, you guys do what? I'm watching this as I put it in the bag that they just gave me down the street. Oh, thank you, Steve, thank you. Let me see what they're doing. And also what it does is it captures your attention. Now, Hyatt will tell you, Hyatt, when it comes to trade shows, if you all do trade shows, you got to talk to this guy. But Hyatt will tell you, the person that's in front of you at that time that you're doing a trade show, when somebody else walks up, you gotta have them wait. If we're already engaged, you don't know what this guy is on, right? But if I can keep you entertained, and if I'm the dude that's at the booth, and I'm the dude that's on the screen, I almost gotta sign autographs, I promise you. So when people are looking at it and they're like, so, that's you up there, that is me up there. That is me up there. Trade shows is very effective, right? So presentations, I'm doing a presentation right now, and I don't know if we got the videos to work, but okay. So we'll be showing videos. Presentations is a great way to show different types, and I'm going to show you different types of videos, right? So everything isn't like, hi, I'm Nolen Davis. And if you guys are looking for video production, everything is not like that, right? There's different types of videos. There's random videos. There's videos that just kind of, like my grandmother say, wet your whistle a little bit. Just give you a little interest, like a trailer, just to go on and get you in, just to show the door a little bit, then close it and say, go on and click on over here with the call to action, right, that he was talking about before. So presentations, burn to disk. Now this, I'm gonna tell you something, DVDs are going away. They're going away. Anybody bought a computer in the past 6 months? You almost have to specially get the DVD players there. Right? They're going away. But physically, if I give you a DVD, you feel like you have something. Now, how do you do this? Let's say with all of my printed material, I burn you a disc and I print on the disc and I mail it out. When I call you back, I'm like, did you watch the movie I sent you? Oh, I didn't. Now it's not regular junk mail. It has value to it, right? If they watched it, then you know they're definitely interested. If they didn't watch it, it's like, dude, I sent you a movie. Why wouldn't you watch it? Right? Who's mailing out DVDs and you're just not watching it? That gives you that, and especially if everything, as far as your brand, everything looks accordingly, right? So burn the disc. Now QR codes. Now I'm gonna piggyback off the QR codes, but QR codes, because everybody has one of these. So when I say QR codes, I'm gonna give you two. One is promotional products. On your t-shirts, whatever the case may be, right? You can put a QR code right there on this, hey, watch us in action doing this. It could be a promotion, whatever. It could be on an advertisement in the magazine. See what customers say about us, back to those testimonials, right? Click, and that'll go to a landing page specifically for that has that video on there. So, and that all goes back to strategy. But QR codes, I've seen them on table toppers in restaurants, right? So I'm giving you two other ways that maybe the average person can use it. But when you look at it on what do you have that's easily accessible in front of those, especially B2C customers, if you have somewhere where you go in and they can actually do it and keep entertained. So QR codes is also great. So I just said, yes, sir.
I was going to ask you a question. Do you have any data like on how effective the QR codes are? Because I've heard before it's kind of hit or miss. Some people really like them.
It is hit or miss.
Okay.
It is a hit or miss.
Okay.
And I feel that QR codes are going away, but it's still there. It's still readily available, and it depends on if you just put it up haphazardly, it's not that effective, right? But if you say click here and watch this, it's all about, people put, it'll say all your information and then it'll be a QR code there. So most people say, I don't feel like I need to watch what I'm reading right now, or where does this take me? But when you have it go directly to a video and say, watch this, it's a little bit more effective. So from what I've found with my people. Landing pages, right? Yes.
You said DVDs are going away, and my wife and I both bought a laptop recently, and neither of them have DVD players.
Right.
And quite frankly, I don't have any way to play a DVD.
Right. Well, DVDs are, when it comes to movies, people have to actually put them into the whole situation. Now, here's the thing. If I send you a DVD, it's actually something physical, and it costs me like $1, right? If you buy a pack of DVDs and you burn them yourself, if I did your video and this was boom, I send it to you, it's $1. Now, even if you use that $1 as a conversation piece to say, oh, you don't have a laptop or anything to play it on, I do understand how technology is evolving. Let me send you a link to the same video. But it's an engagement situation, right? So it's that type of situation. So landing pages. Anybody here heard of 3-Man Movers?
Yeah.
Okay. 3-Man Movers. They have a product called Vids, and I've done all the videos for them, right? So Vids does a lot of different things. Vids is for contractors. So when you're on the site, right, you can put your equipment and your materials in. Vids are for people that are moving and they want to store, right? And then Vids is for retailers. This is how I got the TimeWise account. And if we play the videos, you'll see all of this. The retailers. So you get a great deal on beer, right? But your store can only stock so much. So you get to move it, it's secure, and you stock it up with beer because everybody's going to come to your store and buy beer, right? Those are 3 different demographics, 3 different ways to use this same thing. But if I put it all in one video, then if you're the contractor and you're at the end of the video, and you're the residential person and you're right in the front of the video, then when you click it, you're satisfied. Are you going to wait till after we get to the residential person? Because everybody got ADD these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do your own specific video, right? So now that's what I mean by it goes back to strategy. So when you do 3 separate videos for one product, but then you take that video and you market it directly to those avenues with that landing page to where you can track with Google Analytics or whatever the case may be. So when you utilize QR codes and say, hey, this is, you know how many people are driving this way, you know how many people, so you got to have it on the landing page. Social media, we already talked about. He tried to dog me. I'm going to cry later. We'll talk about it. I have issues. Mobile apps. Anybody heard of Glide? Oh my God. Glide is where you can text. It's like a video that you can text, but mobile apps are getting to the point to where everybody wants to talk to each other, like FaceTime or whatever the case may be. But Glide is an actual app that I can record and then send it to you, right? So I can just say, hey, I'm gonna be late to the meeting, whatever the case, or it could be, hey girl, did you see, what's the name of that, what's the name of that? No, not Housewives, it's the new one. The, who?
Bachelorette.
No, not Bachelorette. What's with the chick that's at the White House? Scandal, right? Did you see Scandal, girl? Call me as soon as you get a chance, right? You can use Glide for whatever, but I'm just showing this is where we're evolving to. So what the thing is once you get used to communicating a certain way, if your business can communicate to your prospects and customers that same way, that removes the us and them, and now it's we. It's like Apple, right? Apple figured out exactly the genius behind everybody who has that creative gene, right? To where each person that goes to Apple is a raving fan for Apple. I almost have to fight people because I'm still on the PC, right? So they're like, "Oh my God, you're doing Vids. Don't look me up and down, dude." Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like it's one of those types of situations because everybody creatively supposed to be on Apple. You can have an iPhone 5 right now. When the iPhone 6 come out, it's gonna be people out there waiting overnight, not because they don't have a phone, not because they don't have an Apple phone, just because they love Apple. So they communicate to those people on that level to where they feel that and that's where we evolve in. So when it comes to your business, you need to communicate to your customers and prospects on that same level. And video is the way to do it. So mobile apps. PDF, you can embed a video in a PDF. Now, we can do it from a presentation standpoint. No, it can actually play in the PDF. She's shaking her head, she's singing. You can do that.
I'm behind.
Then when you look at like issue.com, ISSUU.com, when you get some of those jazzed up PDFs, right? That you can flip the page and then you hear the sound effects in the whole nine. You're like, oh, that's nice. And you can click it and it gets big and it's like, oh, it's right there, right? And so when you do all of that, or those PDFs that have all the bells and whistles, those online magazines, it's another way to reach those people. So we talked about promotional products and printed materials with QR codes, and of course blogs, right? Video blogs. When he says he takes his podcast and he breaks it up into so many different forms, and a blog and all of these things. When you do that, take that same content, but that just widens your footprint on the internet. People look at something and say, oh, I'm gonna put this out for Facebook, and they just got a one-track mind instead of saying, let me just kind of custom tailor it for a blog. Let me custom tailor it, put it on YouTube. Let me custom tailor it and do all of these things. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. Video business cards. Have you all seen those?
No.
There's not many people that seen them. When I tell you, it's almost like a Hallmark card, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same size of a business card, but it's about a ½ inch thick. And when you open it, it's a little speaker and it just plays. It's a little, and you just sit there and you just like, hey, that's my song, and they just play in the video. It's all of that in a business card. But the business card is about, I think she told me they're like $100 a piece, right? Right, and they come straight out of China, but this is where we're evolving to, right? So think about all of your top-notch clients. Think about what this guy just said a little bit ago, right? If I gave you a business card that played a video that told you everything I needed to tell you, and you've never seen one before in your life, it's impressive. Everybody's been on Google. He said there's customers that's paying $129 for a click. This is at least personable. I gave you the business. I might not want to let it go when you grab it, Steve, but I gave it to you, right? Like, I looked you in the eye, and I sold it. That's wow factor. How much wow factor can you give, right? To the person to say, man, I think I really want to do business with this guy. Out of all the people I need to pick, he got the video business card. He sent me a video email just like, hey, great to meet you, this, that. All of that is wow, because who has time to do that? Everybody's trying to get on everything that's automatic. If we can make our own personal brand, ourself automatic through video, then we kill two birds with one stone, right? Let me put, this is an East West style, so I don't really want to hold that right there. Okay, so lobby and waiting room. I've done this for dentists to where, and I call it HDLTV, which is high definition lobby television, to where, let's say Chuck, this guy right here. So Chuck, let's say he's a dentist. You come in, you tooth hurting, whatever the case may be, or you got an automotive store, whatever it is, right? But while you're at the facility, Chuck is on TV and he's like, do you have these symptoms? When you floss, does your gums bleed? That's a sign of gingivitis. And you're like, I never thought about that. Because think about when you go to the doctor. Think about it. Sometimes when you go to the doctor, they come, they weigh you in and this, that, and you're sitting there on a little paper thing, and you're sitting there waiting, and you hear, and that's next door, right? And you come in and you hear, hey, you kind of hear it, but you don't hear it, but you hear. And so as soon as he's like, okay, you're gonna take a couple of these and just call me on Wednesday. You kind of straighten up. I'm next, right? So he's going. I say that to say he's going from room to room. He doesn't have time to say, so let's talk about some teeth cleaning, right? So now, if that HDL TV talks about symptoms that you have for your gums or health or whatever the case may be, symptoms that you have for your car. Does your car rattles a little bit? My car, I was just here for an oil change. It does rattle, right? It's like, hey, this is Nolen here at Nolen Automotive. Let me show you what we do with the 14-point oil change check, right? And then I show you the reason for the better oil. How many people, hey, let me get that better oil. I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know, right? So it's that type of situation. So right there in your lobby, they're already a customer. You've already gotten past the hard part of the mailers and all the, hey, come on in. Now it's just like, let me show you the good stuff that we have. Let me upgrade you a little bit. And if you don't have time right now, I bet you when you come back, you're going to be thinking about it, right? So right there in your lobby. Bumper videos, right? So bumper videos are the videos that let's say most people hate them. I'm not even tripping on that. Let's say most people hate them. Right? Bumper videos is the videos that you have to sit through when you go to YouTube. If you're looking for the perfect golf swing, right? And you're just looking for it, you're trying to get your game up, I don't care what it is, then all of a sudden the pizza guy comes up. Who's seen the pizza guy on YouTube, right? And you're waiting for, and you're almost doing the countdown in your head right there where it's in, you're like, I'm skipping in 3, 2, and let's get to the golf swing, right? That's what it is, but it's a bumper video. And a lot of times those bumper videos get so many views when they're local. It's that type of situation, right? When you're just looking at the pizza person and you're just doing X, Y, and Z, okay, that's cool. But when you're trying to really get in front of the people locally, like the automotive store, like any of those things that I got going on, the restaurant, whatever the case may be, now and it's like 3 cents per click. This guy's talking about $129 per click, right? You give that person 5 seconds, you wow them, right? When that just woke somebody up. That wows them right then and there, right? So you can say, hey, are you looking for Italian food? Whatever it is, You got those 3 to 5 seconds to see if they want to click through, go to the website. It's called a bumper video. And I actually have a guy, his name is Moose Rosenfeld. I don't know, anybody here knows Moose? Right, from Adovid, and that's kind of what he does. So TV, right? Just straight TV. When you look at your access channel, my show came on 4 times a week on HTV, and I kid you not, there was a couple of times I felt uncomfortable that somebody was like, Nolen Davis, and I turned around, I had no idea who it was, and it was like, man, you gave that recipe on that sushi thing on The Perfect Gentleman, and I'm like, oh, you saw my show. Like, it works. It simply works. It's HTV, you have Houston sourced media, you have all of these, and it's very cheap. It's extremely cheap depending on what you want to do. And then we have the lady with cable as well. That lady, she can get you on a straight network. I'm talking about a straight 30-second TV. But a lot of things are evolving from TV, and everybody has mixed reviews on it, but TV is one of them, right? Events. When you're throwing an event, depending on what type of event you're throwing, and you're trying to get people engaged in certain things, a screen, I'm telling you, it's like a moth to a flame. You put it on a screen, everybody's like, okay, what they got going on over there? Did you see? What is that over there? That type of thing. So at events, they have what's called a video name badge. It's in HD. It's a 3. When I tell you, you can't even get icon. If you wore it, for the guys, if you wore it, you would feel like a woman. Like I'm up here. Like, I mean, people are like, hey, how's it going? Like everybody's wild. I'm like, sir, I'm right here. Okay, you make me feel a little bit bad about it. And then the movies, right? Cinema. You've been to the show a little bit early. I actually just went and saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and the 8:45 show was sold out. So I had to go to the 9:25 show, and it was on. I thought it was just going to be dark, and we were just waiting for the previews, and they were showing videos the whole time. The guy that's out in my area, and you can go to Phantom Events, and they're the ones who actually play it. And the guy's name is David. He's out in Friendswood, and if you have a local business, that's another way to hit your local market. So those are things that you can use right now that you can do. Now, I do want to say, if you have one of these, which I know y'all got it, right?
No.
You can do a video yourself, but the strategy behind that is to almost make it look behind the scenes. You need a well done video first, right? To show this is who you are. This is what my business is about. I invest in my business. We're growing. We give great service. We do all of these things, and big production gives that perception. But then everything else is behind the scenes. It's like when you watch a music video. You see Beyonce or let's say Beyonce, because they were just here, I believe, right? So you see Beyonce and she's on her best, and they out there breaking it down. Her and the girls, they out there doing what they do. And then you'll see Beyonce when she first wake up. You're like, oh, that's behind the scenes. But you want to give that type of perception to your clients. If you have multiple messages that you want to get out, this is great. But don't let that be the only thing that people see that represents your brand, your product, and your service. So anybody else has any questions? All right.
I do have last question.
Okay.
So you said 22 ways. I have 15.
Okay, I go back over. One is your website.
Okay.
2 is YouTube. 3 is your hosting site.
Okay. Wait.
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
Hosting site.
Send it to her.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I can email anybody who wants it. The hosting site. 4 is emails. 5 is trade shows. 6 is presentations.
Okay, I think that's what
7 is burn to disk. 8 is QR codes. 9 is landing pages, which is different than just your regular website. 10 is social media. 11 is mobile apps, like I gave you that example for Glide. 12 is PDFs. 13 is promotional products, anything you get printed, because you put your QR code there. 14 is ads, like printed materials, like in a magazine or whatever the case may be. 15 is blogs. 16 is video business cards. 17 is lobby and waiting areas. 18 is bumper videos. 19 is TV. You see what TV stands on my priority list, right? So 19 is TV. 20 is events. 21 is video name badges. And 22 is the movies.
Are these in order by priority, what you think would be most efficient?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I just didn't even think of TV until, you know, small business. Most small businesses are not thinking TV because you're thinking big budgets, right? So I'm trying to show you everything that you can do pretty much yourself first. Now, I do have the camera set up in the back. So if anybody, I would love to get a testimonial or two from some people that love the workshop, maybe ate the sandwiches, or thought these brownies that I'm about to indulge in is absolutely delicious, right? So whatever type of feedback you like to give, I'll be in the back. My name is Nolen Davis, and that's my time. Thank you all so much.